Is Dandadan's finale one of the best in anime? Welcome back to another episode and the final episode of Thursdadan, the show where we talk about Dandadan and anime about the Dum-Da-Dums. This week's episode is the finale, but we had so much to break down because we got a cute new alien girl to fawn over, guys. But let's talk about this incredible and insane finale, which blew my chucks right off. Let's get into it. Before we go any further, please subscribe to Hey It's Me C, my weekly Dandadan channel where I cover the newest chapters which come out every Monday at 11 a.m. EST. So if you want more Dandadan content, then please go over there now, subscribe, ring the bell, and support Dandadan content on YouTube. We need it badly. So the episode starts picking up from episode 23 with a replay of that insane Voltron animation, which by the way, I now know as a Voltron reference because a commenter told me that. So thanks, buddies. But this animation is incredible. The facials on our Dum-Da-Dums are just insane. I mean, Momo in particular with those searching, frantic eyes, and Kenta with his insanely overexpressive expressions. It was so funny, though. Momo, being the smartest one of the dumbest, has the idea to make them all press a button, which basically does nothing. Except for a couple things. A bird comes out of its chest, its arm explodes, Okarun is ejected, and arms are just flailing until the mech just completely falls over and begins to assume the prayer position. But in return, the Kaiju launches into an attack with its tail after a devastating single-leg dropkick. But there is just so much detail going on here, with the first-person view of Okarun to the absolute chaos of the Kaiju handing the mech's ass to itself on a dish. Oh my god. I love how Winscience-Waru, and yes, this whole episode, from moment to moment, was a Winscience-Waru. Holy crap, this is by far probably the best animated episode of this core. But Winscience-Waru was able to capture all of these aspects in such a short amount of time. So whoever directed this episode deserves a raise for sure. But this scene really ends with Ai causing the Kaiju to go off balance, which ends with him being launched. And, you know, we talk about animation, right? But, oh my god, I loved Ai's VA in this moment. The way he captured his cockiness and then consternation as he is just launched in the air screaming. Holy crap, that was peak comedy. I was giggling, y'all. Giggling. But this just allows the Kaiju to keep stomping away like it's, I don't know, like 4 to the floor. Until Kenta remembers that since it is nano skin, as long as he can envision it, it can be made. Oh, and also, oh my god, I love the comedy in this series, and Winscience-Waru nailed the timing so well because I love that part where Kenta turns off Momo badgering him because he's just so annoyed by her, which is just, oh my god, it was so amazing. It just made me bust. But the stupidity doesn't end there. Oh no, the stupidity, it doesn't end there because Dandadan and stupid, those two combinations, no, it cannot be stopped. Kenta launches into an attack with his new Great Kenta mech form, which makes him kind of like this golden mech really cool. He launches a very solid punch, but uses his frontal punch as he is captured by the Kaiju's tail, only for the Kaiju to launch a couple of devastating beam attacks from its horn that he blocks, losing an arm, but eventually recovers and swings the Kaiju around like Cesaro. This has to be a Cesaro reference, right? Come on, it's gotta be, right? But this was absolutely awesome animation. I love the beam blocks by Kenta as well, and I especially loved the running attacks from both of them as the Kaiju is stricken to the ground and viciously crawls like a beast, only for him to capture the Kaiju before it is able to chomp him down. Which also, it's also here that I noticed that, by the way, the Great Kenta's glasses, do you notice that? Those eye ornaments or whatever? That's a reference to Gurren Lagann, so the more you know, I guess. But this entire Kaiju arc, BT dubs, as we'll see in Season 2, honestly is just filled with a lot of shonen and mech and Gundam references. It's just, come on, guys. Come on. You gotta start reading it, right? You gotta start reading it. But Kenta made a flaw. Now the Kaiju can use its beam attack directly and blow his freaking head off. But I want to say words cannot describe how happy they made me with how they perfectly just adapted this entire fight in the anime. It's in some ways even better than in the manga, even though I would say the manga itself is no slouch and has some of the best looking art in the entirety of the series and really modern shonen. Seriously, Tatsu is like one of the best to do it, and he's doing this weekly too, which is even crazier. But season 2, man, it is going to be insane, and based on this episode and this fight, I think Quincy and Swaru is going to be able to pull off anything that Tatsu gives them. But I love this. We get a sad anime flashback where it shows how Kenta has been treated his whole life. He's been isolated for loving and showing his love for the things that he loves. I mean, imagine being treated like this because you just really like Dandadan or anime in general. I mean, why? There's just no point. I mean, you got to feel for the guy, and this is also what ends up driving Kenta too. He doesn't care what others may think about him. He wants to prove everyone wrong and just enjoy life the way that he wants to enjoy it without having others tell him how to think. So he launches into an attack with a brilliant second wind, fueled by his past rejections by his bullies and his society and all this stuff. And he does some incredible stuff here. He quite literally drills into the kaiju at one point. Just so good. The sense of scale, I'm just so impressed how they were able to achieve this. Like the fact that Quincy and Swaru was able to basically pull off what is essentially a cross between Voltron, Gundam, and Kaiju is, I don't know if you guys understand this, but that's insane. That's insane. It shows the range that this studio has. So at some point, the Kaiju recovers and whips the Great Kenta around repeatedly. And we get an honest to God Akira reference as Kenta is swallowed by the airbags, only for Momo and Ira to take over, capture the kaiju, and wrap it up in Ira's hair. And I'm telling every single one of you all, I know, I made a list. Every single one of you who dissed Ira this season, I expect a complete and utter apology or diss tracks will be made. Because she is asking the right questions, like, who the hell is Kenta? I don't know. It's just so funny to me that Ira has zero clue who Kenta is. It just makes me giggle. But we see a new form of the Great Kenta. Again, how many forms have we went through this episode thus far? Momo's powers are now mixed with Ira's hair as she launches the kaiju in the air and ends the fight the right way, the only way, the power bomb. Oh, chef's kiss. Oh, holy crap, that has to be one of the best one-liners in Dandadan thus far, and honestly, there's quite a bit in this season alone. And also, it's just a great reference to old kaiju films. So, to me, this series is worth it just for the fact that they absolutely nailed that moment. Like, Quincy and Swaru had their work cut out for them, and they just did so well. I don't think there could be another studio better fit to animate Dandadan than this one. So, I mean, this was just the right choice. And the series, in my opinion, is in great hands. So, eventually, they transport the house back to where the house should be. And they get motion sick, which leads to Momo navigating through the messed rooms of her home to vomit, along with Ira as Kenta cries. And this strangely detailed sequence, like, I don't know. For some reason, I think Quincy and Swaru are just huge fans of Kenta because they have treated him arguably better than some of the more popular characters thus far. But either way, they recover the kaiju and bring it back to the ISA household as they are chased to and fro. Now this as well was awesome too, just because of the great side shot we got of them running through these different environments, only to end up back home while having tons of fun. No idea if you guys even realize this, but a majority of this final scene is all anime original. These parts running back afterwards, like the funny conversation they have back and forth until they open up the kaiju suit, that's all anime original. That never happened in the manga. So Kenta comes out to harass the boys as Okarun goes to open up the kaiju suit to find within it a girl with antennas, green hair, and a hell of a tight plug suit, and stars in her eyes. This leads to the girl randomly kissing Okarun as Momo comes out to see it, as everyone is just as shocked as she is. And this part was great because it was actually a callback and a reference to the end of episode 1 of Dandadan. Holding the nanoskin because it can create anything the mind desires, it self-destructs and blows up because that shows that Momo is not at all happy that Okaroon is being kissed by some lady with a set of TV antennas. And I wonder just how many channels she gets. Yes, that is the question I am wondering after the last episode of Dandadan. But I gotta ask you guys, what are your theories on what you think this girl is and why she's kissing Okaroon after nearly trying to kill Okaroon? What's going on here? I want to hear your theories. Okay, guys, and gals, you are not ready for season 2 of Dandadan. If you want to start reading the series, you can start from chapter 72, which picks up during literally the last scene of this episode. As well, I will be releasing a chapter-by-chapter breakdown analysis review for the entire Kaiju arc, that's stuff that's not covered in the anime yet, on my Dandadan channel. Not this channel, but on my Dandadan channel. So if you decide to take the plunge and become a manga reader, then you need to subscribe to that channel right now so you don't miss weekly Dandadan content every Monday and breakdown analysis on the arcs not yet covered in the anime, like the Kaiju arc. Alright, so another season of Dandadan has finally come to an end, and I want to thank everyone who supported the channel during this time. In the build up to this video, I wanted to give you guys some statistics to all of the Dandadan content we've uploaded and had the huge success this season that we had, all because of you. So here we go. Altogether, this season on C-Tactics, Dandadan content earned just over 90,422 views. We had, get this, 4,459 likes. And thank you so much for this insane metric. Over the total of all of our Season 1 videos, we received over 618 comments. That is an impressive accomplishment for our community. And I want to say thank you so much for every comment, every like, and every single view these videos received. Before I give my sign off for this season of Dandadan, I want you to comment below how you think we can improve for Dandadan Season 2. So I will ask you 3 very simple questions. The first question is, what did you dislike the most about my content for this season? It can be anything from the titles, the thumbnails, or the content itself. Anything. Let me know what you disliked about the Dandadan content for this season. The second question is as follows. What did you like about my content for this season of Dandadan? That's pretty straightforward, but it is equally as important for me to better understand what I can do for Season 2 much better, just as much as you sharing what you dislike. Number 3, what would you like to see for Dandadan Season 2 content outside of just regular breakdown analysis videos? If you don't want to see anything more, then you can just say the same thing you've been doing. But if you do want to see more, what does that look like? Does that look like more essays, more deep dives, more algorithm-friendly content like guides or recaps? Get to thinking on that, and I don't care what it is. You can suggest it, and I'll check it out and see if it's doable or if it's something that I want to do. And I know a lot of this, that's a lot to ask, but please do just take a couple minutes out of your day to help improve the future of C-Tactics. Now, as for my final sign-off for this season, like me addressing you personally, and I just want to say that this season was very tough for me, as this was me finally getting back into the swing of content creation after, well, the final episode of the first core of Dandadan. And in the middle of this season, believe it or not, I went back to college to become a full-time student. I literally have class later this day, by the way. 2 classes, actually. So I'm doing this on the same day. I should probably be studying. But my Dandadan channel started to blow up again. Hey, it's me, C. My Bento channel, which is my Chainsaw Man channel, quickly followed as well. So even then, the worst things to happen, I would say, were all of the AI nonsense on YouTube, which essentially destroyed this channel in particular. I mean, this channel is, for all intents and purposes, dead. I've done some calculations, and I've lost up to something like 75% of my viewership just on C-Tactics alone, all because of YouTube's changes to AI and viewer verification guidelines. So it was not a perfect season. Viewership dropped significantly for me, but The most important part is that I just had the most fun I've ever had on YouTube this season, despite all of that. Because, to be frank with everyone, I love Dandadan with all of my heart and soul. I mean, I own so many Dandadan t-shirts, and there is nothing that makes me forget about the world outside better than firing up an episode of Dandadan and yapping about it all to you. And I'm so lucky to have you, the faceless but not silent subscribers of mine who support me day in and day out and accept me into your homes. I appreciate that, and I am very grateful for that. So, this entire season of content was all for you, my brothers and my sisters. I hope it helped you escape for at least 10 to 20 minutes in your day. I hope it helped you learn something. I know I learned a lot from you and from watching the series, of course. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for interacting. Thank you so much for sharing. If you want to send me an email, you can do so by using the email on the screen and in the bottom of the description below. Anything you want, you can send it over and I'll read it and respond when I have the time. It's my little email for you guys. I say, why not? Let's all just become pen pals together, shall we? And hey, remember, subscribe to Hey It's Me C for weekly Dandadan coverage, and be sure to join my Discord as well. Check out my full recap for Dandadan Season 1 before heading into Dandadan Season 2. If you made it this far in the video, drop some blue hearts in the comments below. Make it a great day or not, the choice is yours.